Hey folks, your favorite prez here, Donald J. Trump.
Okay, yeah, good. And I'm your ex-president, Bernie Sanders, and I'd like to thank WatchMojo for inviting us to do a guest commentary on this important Star Wars video.
This is going to be the biggest matchup of all time against two mortal enemies.
That's correct, Baby Yoda versus Babu Frik.
Huh? Oh, I was talking about us, Bern.
Whoever said size matters? Welcome to WatchMojo. And in this installment of Versus, we're pitting Babu Frik, the newly introduced character from Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, against the breakout star of The Mandalorian, the Child, better known by his internet title of Baby Yoda.
Babu who? Baby Yoda all the way, folks. Fun fact, I named him Baby Yoda. Believe me, no one else could have come up with that. The best anyone else had was Green Space Baby. Oh yeah, it's true.
Is anyone keeping track of this man's falsehoods? Look, Babu Frik is an original character that brings new ideas to the franchise. He represents a new generation and a new way of thinking.
Wrong. He's a freak. It's right there in his name. Baby Yoda is younger, and younger is so beautiful.
Come along as we size up these two pint-sized characters across a variety of categories to see which of these new fan favorites, despite their modest size, has made the biggest impact.
What the hell? Come on.
Round 1. Significance to the plot. When Baby Yoda first came into the picture, the world collectively squealed with delight.
No one squealed louder than me. I'm still doing it. Melania's always like, Donald, stop, we get it. But she really doesn't.
Baby Yoda has become a series lead, second only to the titular Mandalorian. His presence is what drives Mando's character development and gives this action-packed series not only a beating heart, but a compelling mystery too. If we have one gripe with the treatment Babu Frik received in Episode 9, it's the lack of screen time he got.
This is true. It is an outrage that poor Babu did not get a much larger role in this picture. I believe that the middle class and the working families who produce all the wealth deserve a fair deal.
Without his expert knowledge of droids, our heroes may never have reached the Emperor in time to stop him. So, yeah, in a sense, you could say that Babu Frik saved the galaxy.
Fake news! But seriously though, is that PPO robot made of gold? Because I find him so great, so perfect. Absolutely beautiful, slender frame.
While we relished every moment with Babu, his handiwork was just a step in a long line of MacGuffin-type complications that our heroes had to navigate. The Child, by contrast, is central to the series in which he appears, and feels like a bigger piece of the expanding Star Wars universe. And so, round 1 goes to the Child. Winner, Baby Yoda.
Totally called it. Just look at Baby Yoda. He's a solid 10 on 10. He's tremendous, folks. He really is. Freaky Freak is a total loser, okay?
This is not a fair decision. Mr. Frik works long, thankless hours, he does not have access to quality health insurance, and falls within a segment of the population that is underrepresented.
Round 2, humor. The Child is apparently about 50 years old, but in terms of maturity, he's really just a toddler.
No one loves babies more than me. Thanks to me, unemployment is so low that even 50-year-old babies have to turn down work. It's unbelievable, folks, really, unbelievable.
Baby Yoda's comedic timing and expressiveness would have impressed Charlie Chaplin himself. From the way he misbehaves on the ship, to soup slurping, and his tendency to show up where he's least expected, this Child is a riot.
Children should not be forced to work long hours floating around on a production set. We used to be a nation with standards.
During the few brief scenes in which he did appear, Babu Frik established himself as arguably one of the funniest characters to have ever inhabited a galaxy far, far away. Our hat is off to Shirley Henderson for the excellent voice work.
Wait. Did you just say Freaky Freak is a woman? In that case, it's a total 1 on 10. Completely dishonest fake news media, okay?
His laugh is infectious, and because he's such a joker, we thankfully hear it fairly often. The guy's a real comedian, and he knows it. He's got that sort of affable, easygoing, sleepy-eyed vibe to him.
It makes sense now, Bern. He looks exactly like you. Crazy, sleepy Bernie. That's what everyone's calling you.
Baby Yoda doesn't try to be funny, but his immaturity and uncanny timing makes him endlessly entertaining to watch. Babu Frik, however, is clearly a practiced comedian.
Let me just say this. Mr. Frik has an evolved, mature humor, while only Donald J. Trump could find baby humor to be the superior type. Right up there with fart jokes and your mama's so fat jokes.
Yeah, well, you know what? Your mama's so fat, she's a 1 on 10. Totally undateable.
Yeah, okay, good.
Winner, Babu Frik.
Baby Yoda or Babu Frik?
I'd go with Babu Frik. Yeah.
Slightly biased, though.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
Totally freaking unfair. This is a witch hunt, folks. Believe me, Baby Yoda is the funniest thing you'll ever see.
As I understand it, this was a fair result. We need progressive and forward-thinking candidates to represent the franchise, and Mr. Babu fits the bill.
Round 3, Originality. As far as the canon is concerned, the child is only the third such example of this unnamed species to have appeared, the other two being Yoda and Yaddle.
See through you. We can.
Be mindful of your feelings.
Yaddle is a 2 on 10, folks. No interest whatsoever. That's why they're not even showing her in the YouTube. Total waste of time.
Given that both of the aforementioned Jedi were hundreds of years old when we met them, the immaturity of the child represents exciting uncharted territory for the franchise. Everything he does invites speculation.
No, stop! We're friends!
Listen, folks, Baby Yoda is the most original thing to ever come out of Disney, okay? Believe me, folks, with Baby Yoda, we're gonna make Star Wars mean something again. Miss Swaga, make Star Wars great again. Already printing the baseball caps in green, folks.
It's time to make these versus videos work for all of us, and not just the 1%. Babu is not a blatant copycat of something that came before. He's not a facsimile, he's not a copy and paste creation.
But many outlets have gone so far as to call Babu Frik the single best part of the entire film.
He's a bad character in a terrible movie, absolutely the worst movie ever made. A total disgrace.
We love the child, but as compelling as it is to see a juvenile version of this mysterious species, his design is essentially just a baby version of Yoda.
Wrong. Not true. He's a great guy. Everyone knows it.
In Babu Frik, we got something wholly original.
What we have here is a consensus that the populist candidate is not always the right candidate.
Come on, folks, say it with me. Lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up.
Round 4, the reveal.
Wait. They said 50 years old.
It's tough for filmmakers and showrunners to keep a secret in the modern age, but somehow, Jon Favreau and his crew managed to pull it off.
No one keeps secrets better than me. I keep secrets so secret you'd never even know the secret. It's true, folks, really, believe me.
If there's one thing that Star Wars isn't lacking, it's menacing crime bosses and sinister villains. And when we first heard about Babu Frik, that is exactly the sort of mental image that came to mind. His name is spoken with respect and fear. Then you meet Babu, and it's this guy. Talk about an effective bait and switch.
All right, Freaky Freak has given this franchise 0, a big fat nada. Everyone's talking about it. Baby Yoda's reveal, on the other hand, has been tremendous. It really has. It really has, folks.
Babu made for one of the most enjoyable cinematic reveals of the year. As such, he should be able to win this round hands down. And he would if he were up against any other character under any other circumstances. Unfortunately for him, that Baby Yoda reveal is one that people are going to be discussing for years to come. The child ties it up. Winner, Baby Yoda.
The American people understand that it is grotesquely unfair. We are a society that prides itself on fairness, that prides itself on equal opportunity, and this ruling betrays that sentiment.
Round 5, most cookable. Wait, sorry, that's for something else.
Oh, we're not doing that? Sad.
Round 5, cuteness. Baby Yoda, for his part, seems like he was designed by a team of the world's top scientists who've been tasked with genetically engineering a creature to go beside the word cute in the dictionary.
He's like a miniature version of yours truly. He's breathtaking, folks. Really breathtaking.
His manner is at once innocent and precocious, and those little noises he makes will leave your heart a puddle on the floor. He's adorable.
You have an awful lot to learn about raising a young one.
If he were only 90% cuter, he would win bigly against yours truly, folks.
Let me say something that may not be great politics, but I think that Donald J. Trump is insane and lacks any sort of compass that doesn't point back to himself.
If you subscribe to the rule that smaller is cuter, then Babu Frik wins.
Fake news. No one believes that, folks. A total sham. Look at that face. Would anyone vote for that? Can you imagine that as the face of Star Wars? It's pretty much a Bernie Muppet, folks. Sad.
Babu Frik's diminutive size is adorable, but it's the contrast with his personality that makes him so freaking endearing. And his enthusiasm is incredibly infectious. You just want to take him home with you.
Not me. Send him back to where he came from. We don't want him.
Both characters make our hearts melt in different ways. Babu Frik is extremely cute in that zany Muppet sort of way, whereas the child is extremely huggable. From his look to his voice and mannerisms, Baby Yoda is a masterpiece of adorable character design. And with that, the child takes the final round. Winner, Baby Yoda.
See how that works? Yeah? Bright eyes? We're a team.
The force is strong with Baby Yoda, who ends up taking the win in this versus showdown.
Democratic socialism means that we must create versus rules that work for all, and not just those with force powers. I want to know in this day and age whether it is possible for any candidate who's not a force user or who's not beholden to the force user class to be able to run successful campaigns.
My whole life is about winning. I don't lose often. I almost never lose. We're making Star Wars great again, folks. It's tremendous. I hope to see much more of Baby Yoda. Say it with me. 5 more years. 5 more years. It's terrific, folks. It's just terrific.